What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome back for another, I guess this is a K-pop news video, so to speak, because it revolves around some news in the K-pop world. And we're gonna just kind of generally sort of talk about the whole Cube dating scandal thing that's kind of broken out over the last week, where like 3 different pairs of Cube idols have been like rumored to have been dating and all that kind of stuff, and all of the aftermath of that. Of course, the biggest news to come out of that, or the biggest thing to come out of all of those reports, is the fact that HyunA and the Pentagon member Edon, or Triple H member too as well, member Edon, actually kind of came out themselves and were like, yeah, we're dating. We've been dating for 2 years, which is quite a long time. And, you know, that kind of has triggered the normal sort of response from fans and the company and all of this sort of stuff, which is, you know, people disavow the group Pentagon, people disavow HyunA as an idol, like they're not going to support her, they're not going to be their fan anymore. And then that also has ended up resulting in the, well, cancellation of all Triple H scheduled events, album promotions, you know, fan signings, anything, music stage performances, whatever it is that they're going to be doing for the rest of, you know, this promotion cycle. No more of that either, because, you know, we can't have nice things like that when people do things, you know, live their lives and, you know, just find people that they like being around a lot, just like, you know, you and I do. And it's really kind of frustrating, I guess, you know, like when all the news is coming out, you know, you see all of the responses, the typical responses that you see a lot from fans, or like, of course, lots of support from people for the new couple, or the people who are rumored and all this stuff, thinking that like, oh yeah, they'd be good together. I hope they're, you know, doing, everything's working out and it's all happy and all that stuff. Like, that's, I think, as far as from a fan perspective, like that's, I think, pretty obviously the correct way of doing things, and the correct attitude to have. Like, you know, there's no reason to be upset because 2 people are dating, you know, two celebrities are dating. There's no reason to be mad about that. But of course, that doesn't mean that, but of course, because that is the proper response, that means that there are people who kind of get a little pissed off about it and are very, very upset about it and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's really, really, really sad. I mean, I'm seeing a, you know, kind of little summary of the events here, and I guess the fan club opening, or the launch of the Pentagon fan club that's scheduled for August 11th, I guess, has had, I guess, 500 people or 500 ticket cancellations. I don't know specifically what that fan club opening thing is. It might be an event. It might just be like people joining their fan club or whatever. But 500 fans of Pentagon just completely canceling their support for the group, or at least in that form, just because a couple of their members were or are currently dating other idols, which is just absolutely crazy to me. Like, if you're going to call yourself a fan of a group, then you would not disavow them, or you would not show support for them over this. At the very least, you would not have a negative reaction, because it just doesn't affect you. It just doesn't matter. But when HyunA and Edon kind of posted their whole like, oh, you know, we're actually we've been dating for a while and all that stuff, it kind of, I think, revealed a little bit, which is something that like I think everyone knows is super obvious, but at the same time, like, nobody really talks about super openly, except for in instances like this when it actually kind of comes up to the surface. But one of the things that they had said is that it's not fair for us, or it's not necessarily fair or correct or whatever, for us to be keeping our relationship secret from our fans, because they should know that. And like, I don't necessarily think that they need to know that the fans need to know that anybody's dating. Like, the fans don't need to know anything about your personal life. But I definitely, like, absolutely, super definitely, like, respect that whole, you know, kind of mindset with being open with your fans. It's definitely something that I can get behind. And that's definitely, you know, something that is different, because K-pop companies and idols, just by necessity, obviously by the reaction of the fans, aren't really open with what their idols are like in their personal lives. Like, we don't know really who they are on a personal level, because if people knew who they were on a personal level, then, you know, that would be potentially bad, because, you know, everyone's got a bad side to them. Everyone does things that somebody out in the world's not going to like. So you can't be open with that. And what that's kind of what that causes, of course, which, you know, this whole, you know, announcement of the fact that that HyunA and Idon have been dating kind of goes counter to this, is that K-pop just manufactures an image and a personality and all of that stuff around idols. And the reason to do that really is because then it creates some sort of, I guess, feeling of ownership and connection, and like something that, like, you are here for me, to serve my interests, to make me happy, to do things that I want you to do my bidding, right? That the K-pop idols are beholden to the fans because the fans kind of own them, so to speak. That's definitely a really big aspect of K-pop that I don't think very many people talk about. And when idols are dating, that goes counter to the whole, you know, you must kind of perform for the fans own you, because then they're living their lives without consideration for the fans. And, you know, I don't think that, I mean, I guess it's a little bit of a quirk of K-pop, and kind of a thing, an aspect of it, in all honesty, that kind of makes K-pop different from other pop music genres, just because it's so, to a certain extent, like, manufactured. But at the same time, like, that has a really, really, really bad effect in, like, really realistically developing a really kind of toxic fan culture when it comes to, you know, the way that they support, and the way the groups, and the way that they view the groups and the members of the groups. Because obviously, right, there is no, in like any rational, you know, way, there is no way that people who have been committed to Pentagon's fan club, who are going to go to this event or just become a member of their fan club, there is no way that fans that are apparently that serious about supporting Pentagon would drop the group over something like this. There's no reason for that. But because of the whole, you know, manufactured culture, and the whole manufactured, you know, fan interactions and all that kind of stuff around K-pop, it's kind of made people who are like, if you don't do things that I like 100%, then you're dead to me. And that's kind of obviously what's happened here. You know, I think it's really sad that, you know, that Triple H just, after their you know, dating, whatever came, that their news came out that they were dating, while they came out that they were dating, you know, that they just had to that they're going into hiding, is, you know, essentially is really, really kind of irritating to me. Like, they shouldn't have to do that. You know, they should be able to go to their fan signing and meet their fans and do that, and perform on stage, continue their album promotions, and do all of that stuff without sort of, I guess, the fear of fan backlash at these events, or whatever kind of backlash that's going to cause. You know, but, you know, fans have this really kind of twisted, I think, and backward mentality about, you know, what things mean. Like, oh, you come out as openly dating and then you just go continue about living your lives. How can you be so, you know, rude? Like, that's not rude. They were living their lives dating in secret. You didn't know anything, and they were performing on stage, and then you didn't have a problem with that. But as soon as they do something that you don't like, and then they just go on about their lives as if it's no big deal, you know, and you think that's rude because you take issue with the thing that they've done. It's not, so, like, you know, it's not about you. It's not about me as the fan, right? It's ultimately about them as, you know, an individual. Just like, you know, my life is about myself and nobody else particularly. You know, it just, in this instance, like, it doesn't affect you. And then I guess there's kind of the side of it where potentially a little bit of the cancellation of Triple H promotions and stuff like that might be a little bit of a company-induced thing, because I'm not entirely sure how official, or if the company was particularly aware of the fact that HyunA and Idon were going to come out with their relationship. I don't know exactly if that was something that they had, you know, the company had been planning to happen. Because, you know, of course, the thing is that they're like, oh, well, we don't know, we're investigating. And then they kind of put together their PR spin, and then they put out there, yeah, they are dating, or they were dating, like they've done with Sujin and from G Idol, or whatever the name is, and the Hui, the Pentagon member. so they do their investigation, which is really like, we're gonna have a quick meeting, or we're gonna have a crash emergency meeting to put together some PR spin for this news, and then we're gonna put out our PR piece. Cube didn't really get the opportunity to do that, because I believe that HyunA and Edon kind of just went out on their own and did it through their like social media channels, I believe. I know that I saw HyunA posted on Instagram about it, so that's definitely not an official sort of thing. So Cube might have been like, excuse me, you can't do that, so shut it down, you're being punished here for, doing that, which is also kind of, I guess it's, it is what it is, but at the same time, like, both parties, I think, are kind of acting inappropriately, and like, you should not just kind of, go out and say things when, this is K-pop and stuff like that. Like, you gotta know that that's the way that things are. And especially when you're part of a business, like, I cannot speak on the behalf of the company that I work for. Even though I could potentially be representing myself and my position on things, I can't do that. I have to wait for the company to say what they're gonna say. Like, their official press release has to come before anything that I say, if I'm even allowed to say anything at all. So, like, I know that they're representing themselves as individuals, but the company has to do their thing first. That just is the way it is. Working within a company, the company's PR is you're not allowed to talk to people on your own personal level. Like, the company's PR person has to talk to people like that, and so they subverted that whole order of operations there, and they potentially are getting punished for that, which is really sad. But like I said, it is what it is. It happens. It's the way it goes. Should they have canceled all their promotions because of that? I don't think they should have. I mean, honestly, if everything had gone, or if if things were going the way that I think that they should have, Triple H should still be promoting. They still should have had their fan signing. They still should have been whatever. And obviously HyunA and Edon, they're openly dating, so they should be openly dating in public too. Because I mean, if you're gonna come out online and you're gonna be, oh, we're dating, then you should just be open with it. Like, at fan events, on stage, wherever, on Instagram, on Twitter, on wherever, just be open, just be together, be dating, be in a relationship, be like that. That would be really, really awesome to see, because it would be, I think, like one of the first times that like an active idol or active idols in like, groups that are somewhere in the middle and up and coming, or whatever you want to say, that they were actually actively engaging in that kind of activity, and the company wasn't trying to hide it or downplay it. Like, if they just openly embraced it and just went forward and like, yes, we are dating, deal with it, then that would be really, really awesome. And that would be, my ideal, situation where Triple H members are dating. They're going to continue to perform on stage. They're going to continue to do fan engagements or fan signings and fan events. And everyone's just going to get on with their lives. And the people who can't get on their lives can, cancel their fan club memberships and just get fucked, essentially. So that's what I got to say. Those are my thoughts. That's just a little random, I guess, chain of, or what is that? I don't know what I was about to say. But stream of consciousness, sort of thoughts on this issue, because I didn't actually organize a script for this. So that's what I got to say. I want to know what your thoughts are on this whole situation. If you're super happy for them, if you're pissed at them, that's perfect. I mean, I guess that's fine to be pissed at them. You can have your own personal reactions, but I would be interested to hear why. I don't agree with that, but I would be interested to hear why. And that's really it. So can't believe I talked about this for about 14-15 minutes. So I'm going to end the video here. So that's it for this video, guys. If you wanted to just discuss more K-pop news, things like this, more significant events and more things that I've got, some more, I guess, serious thoughts on than just like people dating, because I wouldn't normally talk about a dating scandal, but it's the first one that's kind of Cube's my favorite group, my company, I should say, and HyunA, this kind of stuff. So anyway, if you want to talk about more K-pop stuff, more Korean music stuff, more whatever, just join this community here that's all about having some free and open discussion. Then click the subscribe button down below. Click on the bell icon to turn on notifications so that you can make sure that you do not miss any videos that I upload. This is basically just so you can see them on YouTube. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.